Well, my name's Conor O'Gorman. I've been working in Dublin for about 3 years now since I came over from Australia, and the majority of that time I've been working as an agency worker for one of the larger construction agencies in Dublin. I've had ups and downs. I suppose for myself it'd be more or less balanced out between the good and the bad of working from. I was elected shop steward on the last site that I was working on, and I really did see the worst side of the agencies while I was working there. A great many of the men on the job before we got organised were suffering terrible bleeding conditions. There was one of my members on the site who was working Saturdays and Sundays and was only being paid single rate of pay for that, no overtime rates at all. He came to me and asked me if there was anything to be done about it once I was elected steward. I rang the agency and asked them why they hadn't been paying him overtime rates, and they said they didn't feel he deserved it. I was forced to just tell them outright, it's not up to you to decide whether a man deserves it. We have a national agreement which covers the rates of pay, including overtime. Because we now had union organisation on the job, we were able to get it fixed up. He got all his back pay, and from then until now he's been getting the correct rate of pay. Another member I had on the job, about a week before the summer holidays, his foreman asked him if he was going to be taking the holidays or working through. He told him he was taking the holidays, that he'd already paid for his flight to go back to Poland and see his family for 2 weeks. The foreman told him that if he did go back to Poland, not to bother coming back to the job after the holidays, that he was going to be sacked if he didn't work through the holidays. Again, I had to step in there and told the foreman he couldn't do that, and your man took the holidays and came back to work after his 2 weeks in Poland. Another incident we had on the same site was where the foreman on the job called together all the agency men who were working on the site. There would have been about 50 of us. Called us all together and said that from now on the working hours on the site were going to be from 7:30 in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening. He said he understood that there might be some men who had family commitments and other reasons that they wouldn't be able to work those hours. He said if there was anyone who wasn't able to work those hours, let him know and he'd have them replaced. That was before I was elected steward. My first action when I was elected was to go and see the overall director of the site, told him the situation and said if there's one man laid off under those circumstances, there will be no alternative than to take action. The foreman was severely reprimanded for his behaviour. One thing I have noticed in all my experiences dealing with many different agencies, the ones who are exploited more than any other are foreign nationals who are coming here to work. The reason that they're exploited is because the builders believe that they're not aware of their rights, and the sad fact is in many cases this is true. Although the majority of them would be members of the union, a lot of them wouldn't realise that fact, and a lot that do realise it don't realise what it entails. Another element before we can organise the men is to educate them. Let them know that they're a part of a union, that they're part of a brotherhood, and that if we all stand together, we'll win. Agencies mean a form of casualisation on the building sites, and as we all know, when it comes to casualisation, it's a great way to destroy trade unions. You scare workers by saying if you stand up, we'll be sacked. But the fact of the matter is, if we all stand together, they can't sack one man because the others will back him up. The only way that agency workers can ensure their rights and conditions on site is to be organised, to elect themselves a shop steward to represent them, and if necessary take action to stop the exploitation. As the old saying goes, united we stand and divided we fall.